this August 18th, 2025 regular meeting of the DRB
Sorry, brain. Go ahead. You did good.
to order. And since we now do have a quorum, we'll start with the introduction of the board members. I'm Rob Goodwin, the acting chair. And on the Zoom we have
Alex Halas, board member.
Brian.
Brian Jones, board member.
And I'm Joe Kiernan, board member.
Okay, great. And then Meredith, you want to give us a brief remote meeting procedures overview?
Yes.
In
Very
fast
brief.
forward.
All right. So, what has happened? Sorry. All right, we're just going to scroll through instead of doing a presentation, I think. It'll show. All right. So for those viewing tonight's meeting via Orca Media, you can participate in the Development Review Board discussion via the Zoom platform using either the full video or telephone access options. So if you want the full video experience, you can type this link into your web browser. Alternatively, you can dial in from any phone using this phone number, and when prompted, put in this meeting ID. Under either option, I will have a notice that you want to get into the meeting and we'll let you in. If someone is having problems accessing the meeting, please email me at mcrandall@montpelier-vt.org. I'll be monitoring my email throughout the meeting. For those attending via Zoom, turning your video on is optional. For everyone attending, please keep your microphone on mute when you're not speaking. This will help reduce background noise. And note that the Zoom chat function should only be used for troubleshooting or logistics questions. In the event the public is unable to access tonight's meeting, and I would find that out via email, it will need to be continued to a time and place certain. I'll now turn the meeting back over to the chair.
Alrighty, thank you, Meredith. All right, we are going to need an approval of the agenda, and there's one item to add, so I'll entertain a motion if anyone.
I will make that motion for you, Rob. I move that we approve the agenda with the amendment that after item 6, the 7 East State Street application, we elect the chair and vice chair for the coming year.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
All right, got a motion by Alex, a second by Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I hear 4. That passes. We have an agenda with the addition of elections to be had after the application of 7 East State Street. All right, so thank you for that, Alex. Just as a preview for bringing that up, we're going to recommend, because of our limited quorum tonight, we're going to postpone the elections to the following meeting. That's just a housekeeping item. So everyone knows. So I will be the acting chair for the entirety of this evening's meeting. We will, without further ado, get to application of 7 East State Street. And the first item would be, Tassi, you want to introduce yourself, and then we will swear you and anyone that wants to speak as a witness.
Sure. My name is Tassi Garrett. I'm a resident of Northfield and new owner of what was Katie's Jewels and will now be called Tassi Jewelry.
Okay. Is there anyone else on, Meredith?
Nope.
Nobody else intends to provide testimony this evening. So, Tassi, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn in as a witness? Great. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Great. Thank you. So just to give you a sort of preview of the order here, Meredith will give you an overview of the sort of the scope of the application, and then you can kind of present your case as to, who, what, where, when, why. And then board members will ask questions either to you or to Meredith's staff for clarifications. And then we'll go to questions for the public if there are any. So Meredith, the scope.
Yeah. So the application as a whole is for 2 signs. The wall sign can be administratively approved, but the projecting sign cannot, because it is a brand new projecting sign with, as far as we can, with new support structure, closer than generally allowed by the regulations to the nearest other projecting sign. And the situation hasn't come before the board since we adopted the revised regulations in 2018. And just procedural matter, both signs have been through the design review committee and received their blessing, with even a little, some options to make the signs bigger if Tassi chose, as long as they met the standard size requirements. So that's where we're at.
Thank you, Meredith. All right, Tossie, feel free to give us a summary of where you're at, where you're going.
All right. Well, the projecting sign that I am hoping to put up would increase my store's visibility from the corner of State and Main. Currently, the dog eats sign, which is my abutting business, obscures from eye level on the corner, obscures the flat sign, where the flat sign will be. And not that the flat sign is really visible from the corner anyway, but it sort of covers that. And so the proposed sign is raised up above a little bit, so you can see both businesses from the corner. I will also say that I have heard, and this is not 100%, but I have heard from the landlord that Dog Eats may not even be there after this fall. So there, in a few months, there may actually not even be an issue at all, but there currently is. So yeah, I feel that it's important for the business to be able to be seen from the main intersection. So that's what I've got.
Great.
If you have questions.
Wonderful. Any questions for the board? From the board? Meredith, were there any concerns brought up by the design review?
No, they liked the sign, both sign designs. They liked the placement. They actually, I mean, no concerns as to where it was. They actually recommended that the lettering get bigger so that it was easier to see from the opposite, from the opposite side of the State and Main intersection. Just because there's some sort of standards about, 1 inch of lettering height per how many feet of distance makes it easier to see. But they thought the signs was great. The board has very specific sort of factors to weigh in for these kinds of dimensional waivers for signs, that the board hasn't really had the opportunity to look at before, in part because we just added that waiver language, I think, not in this July revision, but in the April 2024 revision. And we haven't had an opportunity to use it until now.
Right.
Well, I agree with the design review people. The signs are fine. The hanging apparatus is lovely. I have no issues. And I have some sympathy, having unintentionally bought a house in the historic district and having had to go through these 2 layers of meetings, what that's about.
Well, yeah, I think certainly this board has a long history of agreeing with the findings of the design review board and rarely disagreeing. I think this is a case where it is largely any issue with this would be within their expertise, and so I trust their judgment on it. I feel that we are full within the authority to grant the waiver as requested. I think it was laid out very well in the staff report. Any board members feel differently?
Nope.
Here's a question.
Yes, Meredith.
Kelsey, did you have a chance to look at the staff report and see on that page 5 where there was some reasoning laid out as to why your business is sort of a unique situation with the setback and the parking in front of the entrance, making it hard for a standard projecting sign to be seen, or for a projecting sign to meet the spacing requirement, because it would then have to be around the bend because that end curves.
I did look at that, and
Okay.
that made a lot of sense.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that, because I know you and I had discussed some stuff, there were some things in your application, but I was also making some of my own observations to lay them out for the board. I didn't know if you had anything to add to that, just to make sure the record was complete.
Well, let me look again and just double check. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that covers it. Yeah, I think it'll just be a really important sign for visibility of the business. It's tucked right back in there. So
Yeah, I think that it's quoted here from the regs. Waiver is necessary for the property to enjoy the same and similar rights other parcels due to physical circumstances or conditions of the parcel. I think that's this. It's like it's not just like a long facade that goes down the street forever and ever and ever, and we got a sign every 5 feet. I think that's what we're trying to avoid here by the regs. This is a unique situation, as with most things with land development in Vermont. Nothing's square, nothing's the same, but that's why we have a 7-person board to use common sense and approve stuff like this. So any other questions for anybody? I think this is very cut and dry.
Can I call the question?
Yes,
Or do I have to make the motion, which I
Yeah.
should make the
cannot do?
motion. Yes.
For some reason, I must have downloaded the full packet, which I read on another computer, and I don't have it in front of me. So somebody else is going to have to do it because I don't
Oh.
have the language.
Happy to do that. I'd like to make a motion to approve 2 new signs at 7 East State Street, including granting the reduced projecting sign spacing requested as presented in application Z 2025-0073 and supporting its supplemental materials.
I'll second that.
A motion by Joe for approval and a second by Alex. Brian, how do you vote?
Yes.
Alex?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And Rob, the chair, votes yes. We have 4, so that is unanimously approved.
So, Tassi, the official yes will be when the written decision comes out. This should be a really quick written decision, but I've got a couple deadlines I have to meet first. But this should be out really quick, and when this gets signed by Rob, we'll also be able to issue the permit. So you're going to be golden. I'll update you as soon as we have that signed written decision and permit. And do you want to just come pick them up when they're ready?
yeah, that
Okay.
sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I
Thanks
thank
for your-
you for putting up with the
Yeah,
process.
thanks for your patience.
I understand. It's okay. And I can
Yes, you can.
go,
You can
go
go
off into the sunset now. Okay. Thank you.
You can stay if you want, but you can also go enjoy your evening.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. So, as mentioned, we had by, direction of our, bylaws?
Yeah.
Bylaws? Yeah. The bylaws of the Development Board, elections are to occur in August. So we had to have it on the agenda, but I think everyone agreed it makes sense to, postpone that to, when we have more of a quorum. And, so I would entertain a motion from anybody to do so.
So moved. Till the September 2nd meeting?
Yeah, as long as we have, more
as long
people.
as we have Well, do we want to make it more than a quorum of 4?
Well, I mean, I'll put it on the agenda, and
Okay.
this can happen again if we end up with four
Okay.
people again.
That's
Yep.
fine. So for the time being, we have an acting chair and an acting vice chair, and we're good to go as long as we keep on re-ratifying that choice.
Yeah, well,
will-
and I
I
don't
will.
think you have to officially re-ratify it, honestly. Like, it's on the agenda. Clearly, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have enough people to be able to
Well-
really make a good, fair election. So we've done this before where we had to keep postponing it a couple times.
Okay.
So I think Alex.
Seconded.
moved-
Yeah.
Okay.
So second by Joe, motion by Alex. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. Okay, on to approval of the minutes from 7:21, which I believe we can do.
And I checked. I
Yeah.
don't approve it, but I can approve them even though I wasn't at the meeting.
You can
Yeah.
still copy edit, right?
Yeah,
Right. But I
and
gave that up a
so
long time ago.
I had one change.
Okay.
So in the listing of those present, there is a notation next to Brian Jones that he is an alternate.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I missed that, and
Yeah.
Tammy missed that. So thank you.
Fine tooth comb over there.
Appreciate it.
Got it.
Rob,
But that's it. So as amended, I will accept a motion.
Motion to approve minutes from the previous meeting as amended.
Motion by
Second.
Joe,
Is that a second?
second by Brian.
Good enough for me.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brian, I didn't hear you. I just barely heard Alex.
aye.
Thank you.
right. Minutes are approved. Wonderful.
Whoa.
Any other business?
Okay. So because we were able to deal with Tossi's application, I don't have an application for the second, actually. So the next meeting will actually be unless we want to hold elections by itself.
No.
Sorry. I shouldn't laugh that hard.
Given if we're gonna have like 7 people, a lot of people can show up on that day, maybe we should just get it over.
Well, but also if we wait until the 15th, the question is, can we get some more board members appointed?
right.
Because we had the one potential applicant who said just for some reason they weren't going to be around or whatever. So we wait till the September?
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna
I don't know if that's going to work.
impact elections per se. I guess
It would be more
would-
votes to have more, a quorum.
A quorum is 4. That's all we need.
What we-
Yeah,
what we haven't done, we have time. I
you
think
might need to get closer to the microphone.
what we haven't done, and while we have time, and see what board members think, is that we've often done like an annual presentation by Mike on the updates to the zoning regs, but he may or not be available.
He would not be available. You'd have to ask me to do that.
Okay.
So I could go through the updates that were made last month.
Okay.
That would be pretty easy. As well as go, give you a little update on what's happening at Planning Commission. Because Planning Commission so the updates that they had back in July were interim updates. They have 2 years to do a bigger review of the zoning regulations that would also incorporate potentially the permanent adoption of those interim changes or tweaking them as need be. But they're going to be doing a massive section by section review of the entire zoning regs. Over the last 2 meetings, all they've gotten through is the first chapter, which is all the preliminary legal stuff. And then probably next month, they're going to work on the whether or not to consolidate zoning districts. Like, do we need as many zoning districts as we have?
Yep.
Should setbacks be changed for zoning districts? Does design review need to be changed? That's going to be like September and October. Like they're doing a deep dig right now, not even talking about specific red lines, just flagging sections
Yeah.
for changes. So I've got to
I
actually
think-
start attending all those. So we could do that on the 2nd.
Yeah, I'd hate to do more work or whatnot, but I do think it's very important for us as a board to be
Yeah.
sort of aware of what is coming and what has recently happened as far as changes, and
A detail on that.
ask questions when it's not under the guise of a specific application. I think is very important. So
Well, and getting your guys' input at that meeting also on
Yeah.
things that you have flagged that you're like, yes, we really, we think this section is a problem or this section is a problem. And doing that for the 2nd, especially the going over in a little bit more detail what got changed in July.
Yep.
You know, we have that presentation from presenting the proposed changes to city council.
Sure.
That would be that hard. So
So you're proposing doing that?
on the 2nd. So have basically an administrative meeting on the 2nd where we go through that on Tuesday, September 2nd, which was going to be a meeting anyway. If we had an application, and if there's enough people present, hold the officer elections that meeting as well.
Yeah, I think we should see how many people are gonna, because if there's only gonna be 4 of us, then the presentation won't be as
Yeah.
useful either, so. I think we should kind of wait and see how many people are gonna actually.
Yeah,
be involved.
I'll have to send something out shortly and just be like, hey, do we have?
yeah, what?
But I mean, the thing is, the presentation will also be recorded. So if anybody misses it, the
Okay.
presentation would be available
Be-
over. Yeah, it'd be a public meeting. It'd still be anything with 4 of you.
Yeah.
Is gonna be a public meeting. So we'd still have Orca here. They'd still record everything.
And there'd be potentially two more people, Catherine and Kevin.
Yeah.
Yep.
What happened to Jean Lyon?
He did not re-up his appointment.
Yeah. His term just expired and he didn't apply to be reappointed. So
Okay.
okay.
I'm happy to do that. I just, now that you said this, report me out.
Yeah.
It's just if we have 4 people again we're not gonna do the election that
Right.
day, then maybe, I don't know how long it's gonna take. If we only have 1 application, we might be able to, instead of having 2 short meetings, we have 1 slightly longer meeting is kind of what I'm thinking, for your benefit too, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we have time to decide.
Okay.
Because it's not something that has the public hearing notice requirements because there's no official applications. We just have to decide by like the Monday or Tuesday the week before so that
Yep.
we can finalize the agendas and get those posted. But it's not like there's going to be much in the way of materials. So
Whatever
we can
means I'm happy
have
to
that
do
as the
just
tentative
kinda-
plan.
Okay.
Yep.
In that case, motion to adjourn?
Yes. Second. Anybody?
Second.
There we go.
All righty. All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Hey.
Aye.
Alright.
Here for. Meeting's adjourned.